Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
All right, What's on Tap podcast coming at you once again. And this week we got something a little different to try.
Yeah.
How you doing, Martin?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Stefan?
I'm doing really good. You know why?
Really good? Why?
Yeah, we're going to try some beers.
Oh, that makes me feel good as well.
No. So I was at the airport in Copenhagen, and Mikkeller has a beer bar there, and they usually have some pretty good stuff to try. They have a pretty good tap list overall, and if you've ever been to an airport bar, you know that airport bars usually suck and only usually have like, what is it called, 1664 and Heineken, or just your more base beer kind of generic stuff. But the Mikkeller bar in Copenhagen at Kastrup is outstanding.
It's really good.
It's a really nice change of pace, and you can find some pretty interesting things. And they've got everything from like just your basic lagers or IPAs to 1,000 crown super rare kind of bottles as well. It's kind of a crazy beer bar. I don't think there's maybe another one like it in the world, but it's a lot of fun.
Not on any airport I've been to.
No.
And to get a glimpse behind the scenes, Stefan wrote to me saying, I'm going to Mikkeller Copenhagen Airport. Do you want to share the cost of beers I buy? And I wrote, do it. And then like an hour later, I wrote, will you be able to find beers that we both haven't had? And he writes back, who do you think I am?
Yeah.
Basically. Like,
yeah.
Of course.
Of course I'll find stuff we both haven't
Yes.
had. And so we have something from Arpus, which is a Latvian brewery, and something from a collaboration between Sofia Electric Brewing and Mikkeller. So we'll start with the 5th anniversary triple dry hopped IPA. And I'll be honest with you, when I read this as a triple IPA, and the dry hopped didn't really register. But no, this is just your standard IPA. It is a 6.5% ABV, so it's not super high. It's right in that sweet zone for IPAs. Technically not even a double. We're not quite double.
But it's a good, 6.5 is a great number.
I wish more beers were in that range. And even though this is triple dry hopped, I cannot see anything on here that tells me what the hops are other than water, barley, oats, wheat, hops, yeast, and natural sediment may occur.
But the internet knows.
Tell us, internet, what do you know?
Victoria-
Share your secrets with us.
Victoria's Secret, Galaxy, and Enigma.
That's a good combination. I like those.
Yeah, let's see.
Pretty nice.
I mean, it looks beautiful. It's really yellow.
Yeah.
Light yellow, completely opaque.
Yes. It smells a little vegetal because there's no citra or any kind of
There's very little
lemony.
aroma. There's not a lot of aroma.
I'm getting mostly vegetal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's
It's not the best
nice.
aroma, I agree.
It's okay. Yeah.
But let's try the beer.
Cheers. It's pretty tasty. It's it's kind of hard to classify because it doesn't just hit you over the head. It is, 6.5%, so it's not going to be a huge explosion of flavors. Usually with those beers, they're a little more subdued. Slightly bitter back notes.
Yep.
But the forefront is a little sweet. It's got
A little sweet, little vegetable,
little
little
vegetable.
perfumey. But the bitter back note is my main takeaway here. That's the good part.
finishes a little dry, a little neat, I would say. But I like it. I think it's very drinkable.
It is very drinkable.
It's what I call
very pleasant.
crushable.
But I am slightly disappointed.
Really? How come?
I think the brand, when we drink Arpus, it's usually fruitier, more stronger flavors.
Yeah, I agree. Normally the Arpus beers are much bolder than this. But this...
So what I think I mean is this is a good IPA, but it's one of Arpus's weaker offerings.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I think you would expect when you see 5 years, I mean, we're used to like the more Slutel, 5th anniversary beers, and which were all crazy, insane, over the top beers.
Yeah.
And there was, what was the other brewery we had where we did like the 4th or 5th anniversary set from them as well. And they were also kind of really intense beers. So this feels like a nice kind of crowd pleaser that they're going for something that more people are going to enjoy, that's not going to be a 16% freeze distilled stout or something.
Right.
It's
But with Arpus, I routinely give their IPAs. Fair enough. We usually drink their double or even triple IPAs. I routinely give them 4s and 4.25s, and this beer isn't that. This is a strong 3.75 for me.
See, for me, I kind of feel like this is the 4.25 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
With all the vegetables and perfuminess. Those aren't good notes for me, those words.
Well, see, for me, I think the hop profile, it's got a lot of character, and there's a lot of different flavors happening. So every time I drink it, I'm kind of experiencing a couple of different things. It is a little perfumey, it is a little, vegetal. So I see where that might be off-putting, but for me, it's kind of really working, and it's taking something that would be kind of a bland beer and at least giving me something interesting to experience. Because the mouthfeel on this is pretty thin. It's not like a rich beer, and it probably could have used some more oats or something in it. Does it say it has oats? I could use more oats probably to boost the mouthfeel on it. But I think overall it's a really good beer for me. I quite enjoy it.
If we go into smaller increments, it's more likely to be a 3.8, 3.9. I don't think it becomes a 4 because I've had a lot of Arpus 4s they were just better.
Sure,
but it's not a bad beer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nitpicking, but that's because this is a brewery that I respect, and we've outside of the show. We've
many of their beers.
We've had a lot of Arpus beers.
I would say I'm rounding this up.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get that.
Because you're right. I don't think it's quite a 4.25, but I'm rounding up because I like it enough that I want to give it that. So divisive.
Yeah. If this was an up and comer, I wonder if I wouldn't have been more lenient.
Possibly.
Stefan just sniffed the next beer and he went, oof. That was an oof facial expression.
That wasn't oof, it was like ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. So I was not expecting it. So, all right. So we'll close off the Arpus 5th anniversary triple dry hopped IPA and move into the collaboration between Sofia Electric Brewing and Mikkeller called Beer Geek Balkan Breakfast. And the reason I went ooh, because there was such a strong marzipan smell to it that I did not expect that. I was expecting it to be something very different. And the notes on this, it just has vanilla, yeast, hops, oats, malt, water. It's an imperial pastry breakfast stout coming in at 10% ABV. Yep, that's it. I don't know if there's more on Untapped, but this is all we got for the can.
Untapped marks this not as a Mikkeller beer, but as a Sofia Electric beer collaborated with Mikkeller.
Yeah, this is definitely Sofia Electric, and then Mikkeller is a collaborator. Even though Sofia Electric is on the bottom of the label, the Sofia Electric logo, which is a head profile, is the main logo for the label.
Now I see it. Yeah.
So that's where it goes. And it looks like it's sitting on a razor blade.
Yeah.
Which is... So, do you think a Balkan breakfast is cocaine? I'm just saying, when you start looking at it like that it's just a razor blade on a blue background with some...
Yep.
I don't know if that's a commentary or not, but and it may not. It may be nothing. I mean, maybe just making a joke here. Who knows? But Eastern Europeans are. I don't know. I think that's like the gateway where cocaine comes to the rest of
When
Europe.
I just Google Balkan breakfast, it's just regular breakfast pictures.
Oh.
It looks very delicious.
It does look really nice. There's a lot of
All
cheese
of them
and meat
are
and pies and.
It's omelets in 100% of the pictures.
Oh, fun! I like that. So let's get back to this.
So yes, it does smell like marzipan.
Yes, good. It's not just me. I'm glad. So this is either going to be amazing or I'm absolutely going to hate it. There's no middle ground here.
And there are no like ingredient lists on the internet.
Well, let's
Cheers.
just try this. This one's a tough one for me.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's sweet and kind of. When I say bitter, I don't mean hop bitter. I mean like Jägermeister bitter.
Yeah. I'm surprised, because there's no additives other than vanilla. But it tastes like they've dumped a lot of something in here.
Yeah.
Almost like you said, like a liqueur of some sort, or an aperitif, or whatever
Yeah.
they call Jägermeister and those kind of
I think-
digestives.
I
are what
was
they're
just going
called.
to say, I think officially Jägermeister is a digestive. You're supposed to have it after food to help you with the food.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like this. This is not in my wheelhouse of flavors that I enjoy. I think it's a combination of the bitterness of the roast with this weird marzipan-y flavor that is not working for me.
Yeah, the flavors are a little bit all over the place with a combination of the bad boozy flavor,
Yeah.
like the almost vodka booziness.
It's really light in the mouthfeel. I mean, it's thin. It drinks pretty easy. There's not a lot of aftertaste or off flavors in the aftertaste. It's mostly just the four, like when you're drinking it itself, it's kind of off-putting for me.
Yeah.
It's not a breakfast I want to have.
I think
more
I
of.
think I like it more than you do.
100% you do.
For me, this is a week 375.
This is like a 275 for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I really do not care for this beer. I just don't like the flavors at all. It just tastes like they dumped a bunch of sucrose in or something, because it's really, really sweet. I mean, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really offer more. The aftertaste just gets to me worse. No, I don't like this beer. It's just bitter and kind of meh. So yeah, 275. And I feel like I'm being generous there.
It's weird. I don't know where to place any of these flavors really.
And there shouldn't be that much flavor to it, because there's literally nothing on the can that would make you think there was a lot of adjuncts or something. So it's got to be something with the roast, with the hop combination, and maybe the vanilla source that they're using. I don't know, but I'm done with this one.
I mean, did they age it in Slivovitz barrels or something?
Oh my God, can you imagine what a nightmare rocket fuel beer that would be? Oh, why don't we have more Slivovitz barrel-aged beers?
There's a very fine explanation to that. Don't do it.
It's like, I don't want to go blackout drunk from having one beer.
I mean, we have our local talent, Hasse Fasson, who used to brew in the basement of Bishop's Arms, and then he had his own brewery. He made a stout together with local home brewers / semi-professional brewers, Brew Bros Malmo, called Lion. Lion, another animal stout. They made it together. It wasn't Lion Pheasant Stout, but something like that. And they aged it in like Slivovitz barrel and like aquavit barrels, all of the different weird barrels. Lion Bird Stout.
I think I had that.
Wait,
Oh my God.
Before you end this episode,
So for those listeners who don't know what Slivovitz is an Eastern European plum brandy that is kind of like Reki in Greece and
yeah, but Raki in Greece and Rakia in other parts has anise flavor, so it's licorice.
Right.
Almost.
But I'm just saying, it's like the idea is that like everyone brews it at home.
Yes.
And you can find people selling it by the liter or like 5 liters or whatever on the side of the road. So when I was in Crete, there were literally people with Rocky stands where you just buy it from them to take home with you. And selling it in, like I said, Coke bottles, 2-liter Coke bottles. And so Slivovitz is kind of the same thing. So if you're ever in, say, the Eastern European countries and Southern Eastern European countries in particular, former Yugoslavia area, you'll find Slivovitz quite readily available everywhere. And it's quite common whenever you have like a family get together and you're doing a big barbecue. You start the day by splitting a bottle of Slivovitz.
Yeah.
And it tastes literally like kerosene smells.
It varies from absolute gasoline to surprisingly fine refined. It depends.
It mostly tastes like gasoline. It mostly tastes like oh my God, I just drank rocket fuel. I wouldn't be surprised if you poured it into your gas tank and it powered your car. That would not surprise me at all.
But just to move back to the wonderful creation of Hassafasan and Brew Bros Malmo, they made Lion Bird Stout. They made a regular one, and then a whiskey edition, fine. Aquavit, Slivovitz, Aqua Absinthe, Cointreau edition, and Liqueur 43 edition.
Woof.
These are all over the place, and I love them. I love everyone.
I applaud them for at least attempting
I love all of the individuals involved in these endeavors. And I've had several of them, and they were better than this stout that we have in our glasses that we haven't sipped all during this conversation because we don't really want to drink more.
And you gave it a 3.75.
It's a 3.5.
Oh, now you're dropping it to 3.5.
I don't. When I find myself not wanting to drink a stout, I need to lower it one level.
One level.
Maybe more. No, no, it's a 3.5. Come on.
Okay, 3.5. Sure. 2.75 for me, 3.5 for you. And then we'll just wrap up there. So you can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Spotify,
Facebook,
Spotify, Facebook, and I mean, maybe one day the metaverse.
Wow.
We can only hope. Yeah. So until next time.